Hello, welcome to American Baker in Germany. I'm Michelle, and this is
Sabrina.
Sabrina. And we are what are you making today?
Some hamburger cupcakes.
Hamburger cupcakes. So we are doing them two ways. We're doing the child-friendly way, where your kids can help you with it. Yeah? And we'll do kind of a grown-up version as well. So we'll see which one we like better, yeah?
I want the kids one.
You want the kids one? Yeah, it should be pretty easy. Yeah? Are you ready? Well, let's get started.
This project is a collaboration with Mann Made Cakes, Mann with two N's. I'll put her links below in the description box. This is her hamburger cake. She's a very passionate baker and I love her creativity. Check out her channel and subscribe to her as well. We made a batch of brownies for this project. This was not my normal brownie recipe and ended up significantly lighter in color than what I usually make. It worked out though because I felt like this color was very close to brown meat.
And we have cupcakes. We have lots of these.
Let's cut it open.
Wait, we're not quite ready yet. I want to show everything that we have. Another thing we have is we had a whole bunch of leftover mint buttercream. It doesn't look like very much in this bowl because this is a huge bowl, but this should be plenty for what we need. And we're going to color it a couple different colors to make it look like lettuce, ketchup, and mustard. Okay? Now Sabrina doesn't like cheeseburgers. Is that true? Yeah? Why don't you tell the camera?
I don't like cheeseburgers.
So we are going to leave off the cheese. These are only hamburgers. That's fine, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, let's start out with coloring our buttercream. Can you get me a couple of small bowls?
Sabrina got me 3 small bowls and I divided my buttercream between them. I started with the red. I added a good amount of red food coloring to the mint green buttercream. I had to add more coloring at one point, but in the end it looked just like ketchup. Then I added a large amount of yellow food coloring to another bowl, but it was still just a bit greenish, so I added a single drop of red food coloring to neutralize the green. It totally worked and the buttercream was exactly the same color as mustard. Then I added green food coloring to the last bowl. Then I got out 3 piping bags and piping tips. I had a small leaf tip for the green buttercream and 2 round tips for the ketchup and mustard, a medium one for the yellow and a smaller one for the red. Then I put all of our colored buttercream into the piping bags. Be sure to visit our website, AmericanBakerInGermany.com. We're also on Facebook and Instagram. Then I got out a small serrated knife and a cupcake. I carefully take the paper off the cupcake, trying not to rip it at all. Then I use the knife to cut the cupcake in half. To check my circle cutter, I decided I wanted a smaller one. So I get out the smallest circle cutter that I have, and I use it to cut out a circle of brownie. I cut the brownie in half and got 2 patties out of 1 round. I'm planning on stacking it like this. But first, let's get some condiments on it. I pipe some yellow onto the bottom layer, focusing on the outsides. Then I place the brownie on top, and I pipe some red onto the edges of the brownie. Then I use a leaf tip to start in the center and go outwards to make the lettuce. And we put the top of the cupcake back on. I think it looks just like a tiny hamburger. If there's a lip of cupcake, you can cut it off with the knife as well. However, I regretted doing it afterwards. I think it looks better with the brown top, even if there's a funny lip on the cupcake.
You want to do the frosting?
No, I do first.
You want to do the frosting? Okay. Well, how about we? Yeah?
Yeah. Now,
Yellow?
yellow.
We get to hold this close. You don't want it coming out the top. There you go. Okay, however you want to do it.
Yeah.
Good.
Looks like a room.
When you're ready, hold it close at the top. Good. And then the lettuce. Hang on. There's some coming out the top. There we go. Close at the top. That's funny.
Everywhere has to be.
Well, don't forget the other side. Right? Hang on, good job. Thank you.
Okay, and look.
Very nice. Up at the top one?
Thank you.
Yeah. Do you like it?
Yeah, a couple more.
Okay. I'll do 2 more, okay?
Yeah.
Sabrina and I both made another. I think both of ours looked really good, and it shows how easy this project is for children to help with. Now I want to try making one with the help of fondant. I carefully cut the cupcake lid off and rounded the top a bit more. Then I cut it in half just like before. I rolled out a bit of ivory fondant. I cut out the piece of brownie just like before. Then I frosted my 2 buns with a very thin coat of yellow buttercream. And I covered it with the ivory fondant. I got some buttercream on the fondant, so I wiped it off the fondant, cut off the excess with a knife, and smoothed it onto the bun with my fingers. Then I placed the brownie on top of the bottom bun. I roll out a small piece of green fondant as thin as I could get it with the soft fondant. I cut out a circle of green and rolled it a bit thinner on the edges. I carefully pick it up and place it on the meat. Then I roll small snakes of yellow and red fondant to act as ketchup and mustard and place them all around the lettuce. I covered the top bun with ivory fondant just like the bottom bun. But because this bun is so small, I had some trouble smoothing the fondant onto it. I cut off the excess and smoothed it as best I could. And now the reason I consider this to be the adult version. I'm using my torch to brûler the fondant on the top bun to give it a bit more color. In the end though, I only made one covered in fondant. I decided I actually liked pipe cupcakes better, so I made the rest of the cupcakes like we made the first ones. The fondant one was okay, but the buttercream cupcakes are just so adorable.